So I'm here with Melanie C, soon to be our colleague on Joe.
Yeah.
Because you're going to host a show.
I know. Unbelievable, isn't it? Here I am, little Spice Girl, and now I'm going to be a DJ host on Joe.
Yeah. What you're going to do?
I am going to be presenting some of my favourite tracks from the top 2000.
Yeah. But you're known to it because you have done your own radio show.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've done a little bit in London. This year was kind of the first time for me. So yeah, it's an exciting new thing to try. It's a real challenge for me. I think, like everything, I don't think as a performer you can just jump into anything. Everything is its own little craft. So I'm very much a novice, but I'm loving learning.
Yeah. So how do you prepare?
I like to do lots of research on the songs that I'm going to be playing. And it's nice to pick the songs as well. I've been working on Radio 2 in London, and it's very nice that they allow you to just have free reign. I mean, there's not even a playlist. You just go, and you can play whatever you want, which is wonderful. And it's fun because, sometimes I have quite personal stories, maybe from my childhood, like singing something in my bedroom when I was growing up with a hairbrush, down to sometimes, I've met the artists or I've worked with the artists. So it's nice to kind of share those stories with the public.
Yeah, great. You're going to be in Belgium to perform as well because you come into the Night of the Proms. How's your career going? Because you're quite popular here in Britain still.
It's amazing. I mean, I've had so many changes through my life. Obviously, my work with the Spice Girls is still incredible, and I'm so super proud of everything that we did. We reunited in 2009, and then we performed at the Olympics in London in 2012. Alongside that, I've continued making music as a solo artist. I think I'm on about my 7th album. And I've done some musical theatre as well in the West End of London. I've also toured with Jesus Christ Superstar, which was incredible. I've done some TV. I was a judge on Asia's Got Talent. So it's been really varied, but music is my first love and I always come back to it. So I'm very excited to be performing at Night of the Proms with a huge orchestra. It's such a wonderful show. And yeah, I'm honoured to be a part of it.
Yeah. Do you still have time for it to do?
Well, luckily it worked this year. It fit into the schedule, and they caught me early enough in the year. And it was something that, we've been talking about doing it for many years, but we just, our schedules just didn't work together. But this year it's all happening. I'm very excited. And it'd be a lovely little run up to Christmas, really. It's nice to be out on the road performing at that time of year.
Yeah. With all the stories we've been hearing, do you still want to talk about Spice Girls?
Well, I think it's nice that people still have an interest. Obviously, if I'm doing many, many interviews day after day, it can get a little bit tedious. But, you have to be grateful that people still care.
Yeah, but the rumors about reunion and stuff like that, you're not going to be part of that?
Well, there are no plans to do any kind of reunion at the moment. I think
because it's all over the websites that they're talking. There are talks going on to do so.
But I think that's happened for the last 20 years, hasn't it? It's hilarious. When we did reunite in 2009, and I was like, one of the best things about this reunion is people will stop asking us if we're going to reunite. And like literally the week after the tour finished, it was like, are you getting back together again? So it never goes away. But it's lovely because, there is still a wonderful fan base out there who still would like to see us perform.
Yeah. And do you keep in touch?
We do. I mean, I have different relationships with all of the girls, like anyone does with a group of friends, but we do stay in touch. And what we did, it was so special. It was such a huge part of our lives and enabled us to go on and have the careers that we all have today. So, I think we're very grateful for each other and what we've enabled each other to go on and do.
Okay. We're Joe, a radio station which plays 70s, 80s, 90s music. What do you want to remember from the 90s?
Well, the 90s to me is all about Spice Girls. But alongside that, I was a big Britpop fan as well. So I love Blur and Oasis. I was other great bands like Pulp and Suede. It was a great time in music, I think. There was so much going on. And it kind of felt like the beginning of not having to be part of a tribe. Because I think so often in music, you were allowed to. I mean, I remember when I was really little and it was Wham and Duran Duran, and if you liked one, you couldn't like the other, which is pretty ridiculous. So both, kind of pop rock bands, whatever. But now I think the great thing about music is you can like dance and rock and reggae, and you know, it's so open now, and the way we consume music, you know, with it being online and streaming, and I think it's very healthy for the consumer. There's a lot open to us.
How did you cope with the success in that time?
You know, good in some ways and not so good in others. I think it's a huge life change, and I think for anybody to go through something like that at a really young age, it kind of turns your world upside down, and you know, relationships change, and the way you're perceived is changed, the way you see yourself changes, and I just think it takes time to kind of really get your head around it and accept and feel comfortable with your place in the world.
Yeah. You were sporty Spice. How sporty are you still today?
Oh, well, I'm pretty sporty. I started doing triathlons in 2011. I haven't competed this year. My album has taken priority. But I hope to get back. And I love sport. I love keeping fit. It's a really big and important part of my life.
Yeah. You talked about the album. When can we expect it?
Well, I released an album at the end of last year. It was early this year in some parts of Northern Europe. And I've been out playing some live shows. And I'm just trying to get back out there again. It's really fun. I've enjoyed travelling again. There's lots of countries like Belgium and Holland and that part of the world that I haven't been to for a long time. And I just really enjoy travelling and meeting the fans in those places and performing. So that's how I'd like to see my future.
Yeah. I thought, because you said working on the album, you were writing songs already for a next album.
Well, you know, I'm quite keen to get back into the studio. I'm looking at some new collaborators, and my album I released, version of me, was a lot more electronic sounding, still very much a pop album, but I experimented a little bit more with the production and with the sounds, and I would like to maybe go down that avenue a little bit more. So I'm excited to work on some new material.
Yeah. Lots and lots of success, and of course, welcome to Belgium every time you want.
Thank you very much. I can't wait to see you all.